Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is Nishit Kumar with the evening news. The headlines. Government has taken initiative to abolish laws from period of slavery that reflect slavery mentality, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Addresses National Conference of Labour Ministers of all states and union territories via video conferencing. Prime Minister interacts with participants of Grand Finale of Smart India Hackathon this evening. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs approves proposal for amendment of policy of exemption for wheat flour from export ban. Supreme Court quashes order of Jharkhand High Court in matter of appointment of 326 candidates selected in 6th State Civil Service Examination conducted by State Public Service Commission. Prime Minister to visit Gujarat on 27th and 28th of August to lay foundation stone and inaugurate various developmental projects in Bhuj. Home Minister Amit Shah asks security forces to continue with the coordinated efforts through meticulous and well-planned counter-terrorism operations to wipe out terrorism. President Rushdie Murmu to confer national awards to teachers on 5th of September in New Delhi. India Meteorological Department issues yellow alert of rain for next 5 days in Uttarakhand. Government publishes the Battery Waste Management Rules 2022 to ensure environmentally sound management of waste batteries. In Durand Cup, the matches between East Bengal versus Rajasthan United and Army Green versus Sudeva Delhi end in a draw. And in badminton, HS Prannoy defeats Lakshya Sen to enter quarter-finals of BWF World Championships 2022 in Tokyo. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the government has taken the initiative to abolish the laws from the period of slavery that reflect the slavery mentality. Addressing the National Conference of Labour Ministers of all states and union territories today via video conferencing, the Prime Minister said the country is now changing, reforming and simplifying such labour laws. He said 29 labour laws have been converted into 4 simple labour codes. This will ensure the empowerment of workers via minimum wages, job security, social security and health security. The Prime Minister emphasized that India's labour force has a huge role to play in realizing India's dreams and aspirations to build a developed nation in the Amrit Kal. And with this thinking, the country is working continuously for crores of workers from the organized and unorganized sector, he added. The Prime Minister pointed out that the e-Shram portal is one of the key initiatives to bring the labour force into the ambit of social security.
देश के हर श्रमिक को सामाजिक सुरक्षा के दायरे में लाने के लिए किस तरह काम हो रहा है, उसका एक उदाहरण ई-श्रम पोर्टल भी है। ये पोर्टल पिछले साल शुरू किया गया था ताकि असंगठित क्षेत्र के श्रमिकों के लिए आधार से जुड़ा नेशनल डेटाबेस बन सके। मुझे खुशी है कि इस एक साल में ही इस पोर्टल से 400 अलग अलग क्षेत्रों में काम करने वाले करीब 28 करोड़ श्रमिक जुड़ चुके हैं।
The Prime Minister highlighted that the country's Labour Ministry is preparing its vision for the year 2047 in Amrit Kal, reiterating that the future needs flexible workplaces, a work-from-home ecosystem and flexible work hours. The Prime Minister said that we can use systems like flexible workplaces as opportunities for women's labour force participation. The Prime Minister reiterated the various efforts by the government like Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Man Dhan Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana that have given a kind of security cover to the workers.
अमृत काल में विकसित भारत के निर्माण के लिए हमारे जो सपने हैं, जो आकांक्षाएं हैं, उन्हें साकार करने में भारत की श्रम शक्ति की बहुत बड़ी भूमिका है। इसी सोच के साथ देश संगठित और असंगठित क्षेत्रों में काम करने वाले करोड़ों श्रमिक साथियों के लिए निरंतर काम कर रहा है। प्रधानमंत्री श्रमयोगी मानधन योजना, प्रधानमंत्री सुरक्षा बीमा योजना, प्रधानमंत्री जीवन ज्योति बीमा योजना जैसे अनेक प्रयासों ने श्रमिकों को एक तरह का सुरक्षा कवच दिया है.
Recalling his address to the nation on the 15th of August from the ramparts of the Red Fort, the Prime Minister said that he has called for the full participation of the nation's women power.
हम फ्लेक्सिबल वर्क प्लेस जैसी व्यवस्थाओं को महिला श्रम शक्ति की भागीदारी के लिए अवसर के रूप में इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. नारी शक्ति का सही उपयोग करते हुए भारत अपने लक्ष्यों को और तेजी से प्राप्त कर सकता है. देश में नए उभर रहे सेक्टर्स में महिलाओं के लिए क्या कुछ और कर सकते हैं, हमें इस दिशा में भी सोचना होगा.
Remarking on the demographic dividend of India, the Prime Minister said that India's success in the 21st century will depend on how well it is used. He added, we can take advantage of global opportunities by creating a high-quality skilled workforce. The Prime Minister also highlighted that India is signing migration and mobility partnership agreements with many countries of the world and urged all the states of the country to take advantage of these opportunities. The two-day conference is being organized by the Union Labour and Employment Ministry at Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh from today.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is interacting with Smart Hackathon innovators via video conference. He will deliver an address at the grand finale of Smart India Hackathon shortly. Now we take you live to the Prime Minister's event.
अंशित, आपको और आपकी पूरी टीम को बहुत बहुत बधाई. आइए हम पंजाब चलते हैं.
नमस्कार आदरणीय सर.
नमस्ते.
सर, मेरा नाम हरमनजोत सिंह है. मैं कक्षा 10वीं का छात्र हूं और जोधमल पब्लिक स्कूल जम्मू में पढ़ता हूं. मैं एक सर्टिफाइड फुल स्टैक डेवलपर, ओलंपियाड मेडलिस्ट, MIT USA ऐपाथॉन का विनर और एक स्टेम एंथुसियास्ट भी हूं. मैं इस साल के स्मार्ट इंडिया हैकाथॉन जूनियर एडिशन का विनर भी हूं. So, based upon my research, I developed this innovative smart glove that can basically monitor our real-time health fighters based on an advanced technology called as Internet of Medical Things. It uses 7 smart, contactless and wireless biomedical sensors like digital temperature sensor, photoplethysmography optical sensor and electrodermal activity sensor that helps us to monitor our health vitals like the mental health, heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturation level, emotion or mood detection, tremor or shaking in the hands and body temperature. So I have fitted all of these sensors inside a 3D printed case which is embedded in the glove. That also I got designed and I got it printed myself through CAD technology, also called as computer aided design. So inside this glove, I have also used a microcontroller that basically controls and records the data from all the sensors. And then, sir, the recorded health vitals are transmitted to a cloud database using either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connection and then displayed in the form of graphs on a mobile application using data analysis programs or algorithms that I designed myself. So I have also tried to implement hardware, software, electronic skills to form an internal circuitry of all the sensors and the components that I have used in the glove as mentioned. And sir, my smart wearable glove is unique because it integrates both hardware as well as software to create a system that can be used by the people who just want to monitor their health, or it can also be used by patients, caregivers, family members as well as doctors from anywhere and at any time. So I am extremely thankful to Smart India Hackathon for providing me this golden opportunity so that
हरमनजोत, सबसे पहले तो आपको, आपकी टीम को आप विजयी हुए इसलिए मैं बधाई देता हूँ. आपके साथ आपके फैमिली के लोग हैं क्या?
ये सब मेरे मम्मी पापा बैठे हैं.
हाँ, मुझे दिख रहा है. चलिए, मेरी उनको भी बधाई है कि वो आपको इस प्रकार से प्रोत्साहित कर रहे हैं और आप इस काम को कर रहे हैं. आप टीम संविदा से भी बात करेंगे?
नमस्कार सर।
नमस्ते भाग्यश्री, कैसी हैं आप?
Smart India Hackathon started in the year 2017. It has been the constant endeavour of the Prime Minister to promote a spirit of innovation in the country, especially amongst the youth. It is a nationwide initiative to provide students a platform to solve the pressing problems of society, organizations and the government.
The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has approved the proposal for amendment of policy of exemption for wheat flour from export ban. The approval will now allow to put a restriction on the export of wheat flour, which will ensure a curb on rising prices of wheat flour and ensure food security of the most vulnerable sections of the society. Our correspondent reports that Russia and Ukraine are the major exporters of wheat, accounting for around 1/4 of the global wheat trade. The conflict between them led to the global wheat supply chain disruptions, increasing demand of the Indian wheat. Home Minister Amit Shah held a review meeting on the security situation of Jammu and Kashmir in New Delhi today. The Home Minister asked the security forces to continue with the coordinated efforts to meticulous and well-planned counter-terrorism operations to wipe out terrorism. Mr. Shah reviewed the working of the security grid and on various actions being taken to reduce the incidence of terrorism over the last few years. He appreciated the efforts of the security agencies and administration of Jammu and Kashmir for the successful conduct of the Amarnath Yatra this year, which was held after a gap of 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The External Affairs Ministry today said that India has been following the developments in Sri Lanka. Replying to media queries on incidents jeopardizing the safety of Indians in Sri Lanka, Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said Indians are the largest tourists in the island nation and safety and well-being of the Indian nationals are of prime importance. He advised Indian nationals to exercise care and caution while being in Sri Lanka. He said they should examine all relevant factors including currency, convertibility and fuel situation for any essential travel. On the abduction of Sikh woman in Pakistan, Mr. Bagchi said, it is shocking to see this level of religious intolerance in Pakistan. He termed it another instance of religious persecution faced by the minority community in Pakistan. India has condemned the attack on writer Salman Rushdie and wished him a speedy recovery. Replying to a media query in New Delhi, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said, India has always stood against violence and extremism.
The government has notified Battery Waste Management Rules 2022 to ensure environmentally sound management of waste batteries. The Environment Ministry said the new rules will replace Batteries Management and Handling Rules 2001. Communications Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw today said the country is now ready for launch of 5G services by October this year. He said this while releasing the amendment in the Indian Telegraph Right-of-Way Rules 2016 to facilitate faster and easier deployment of telecom infrastructure for a faster 5G rollout in India.
National Mission for Clean Ganga has signed an agreement for the development of sewage treatment plant for Agra worth nearly 583 crore rupees. A tripartite concession agreement was signed today between the National Mission for Clean Ganga, NMCG Uttar Pradesh Jal Nigam and Vishwaraj Environment Private Limited for development of sewage treatment plants for Agra under hybrid annuity mode. The Supreme Court today quashed the order of the Jharkhand High Court in the matter of appointment of 326 candidates selected in the 6th State Civil Service Examination conducted by Jharkhand Public Service Commission, JPSC. The Apex Court today gave its judgment in favour of 326 candidates securing their jobs.
The Delhi High Court today refused to stay the Agnipath scheme for recruitment of youth in the armed forces. Hearing a batch of petitions challenging the scheme, the court asked the centre to file its reply within 4 weeks. Designed to enable a youthful profile of the armed forces, the Union Cabinet approved the Agnipath scheme on the 14th of June this year. The BJP has alleged that the lapse in the security of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Punjab in January this year was part of a well-planned conspiracy. Briefing media in New Delhi today, Union Minister and BJP leader Anurag Thakur said during the incident, the then Chief Minister of Punjab Charanjit Singh Channi of Congress and the DGP were missing. Mr. Thakur claimed that it was a clear indication of a conspiracy. He said the agitators were merely 100 meters away from the bridge on which the Prime Minister's vehicle halted and from where the Pakistan border is just 10 kilometers away. Mr. Thakur questioned on who gave the information of Prime Minister's route to the protesters. He said the Supreme Court panel has commented that the Firozpur SSP failed to discharge his duty and maintain law and order. Mr. Thakur also said the Punjab police had ample time to provide an alternate route to the Prime Minister's convoy.
कोर्ट ने इस पर अपनी टिप्पणी बड़ी गंभीर भी की है। भविष्य में प्रधानमंत्री की सुरक्षा के साथ खिलवाड़ ना हो उसके भी इसमें कहा है। उस पर क्या क्या करना चाहिए, उपचारी उपाय क्या हो, सेफगार्ड्स क्या लिए जाएं, उस सब की बात भी कही है। लेकिन आज सवाल ये खड़ा होता है कि कांग्रेस ने देश के 130 करोड़ की जनता के पूर्ण बहुमत से चुने हुए दुनिया के सबसे लोकप्रिय नेता की सुरक्षा में खिलवाड़ क्यों होने दिया, ये सुनियोजित क्यों था और ये षड्यंत्र किसने रचा, ये कई सवाल अब आप सबके सामने आते हैं।
The BJP today criticized the Congress for running a false-motivated campaign on the issue of Pegasus. Briefing the media in New Delhi today, BJP leader Ravi Shankar Prasad said the high-profile technical committee consisting of eminent people of technology has not found any Pegasus virus in any of the 29 mobiles submitted for the examination. He questioned Congress leader Rahul Gandhi for his statement in which he had claimed that the Pegasus is an attempt to crush democracy. He said this was far from truth and was an attempt to weaken and defame the Prime Minister. Uttar Pradesh Minister Bhupendra Singh has been appointed as the new state BJP chief. The party has named Rajiv Bhattacharjee as Tripura BJP president. Saudan Singh has been appointed as party's chief election in charge for the upcoming assembly polls in Himachal Pradesh. Devendra Singh Rana has been given the responsibility of co-in charge for the poll affairs in the state. BJP President JP Nadda cleared the names.
In Telangana, the state police have picked up suspended BJP legislator T. Raja Singh from his residence in Hyderabad today once again. He was taken into custody 2 days after he was arrested and later granted bail for his alleged controversial remarks. Hyderabad police have invoked a PD Act against Gosha Mahal MLA Raja Singh today. In Bihar, senior RJD MLA Awadh Bihari Chaudhary today filed his nomination paper for the post of Assembly Speaker. The election for the post of Assembly Speaker is scheduled to be held tomorrow.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Government has taken initiative to abolish laws from period of slavery that reflect slavery mentality, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Addresses National Conference of Labour Ministers of all states and union territories via video conferencing. Prime Minister interacts with participants of grand finale of the Smart India Hackathon this evening. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs approves proposal for amendment of policy of exemption for wheat flour from export ban. Supreme Court quashes order of Jharkhand High Court in matter of appointment of 326 candidates selected in the 6th State Civil Service Examination conducted by the State Public Service Commission. Prime Minister to visit Gujarat on the 27th and 28th of August to lay foundation stone and inaugurate various developmental projects in Bhuj. Home Minister Amit Shah asked security forces to continue with the coordinated efforts through meticulous and well-planned counter-terrorism operations to wipe out terrorism. President Draupadi Murmu to confer national awards to teachers on the 5th of September in New Delhi. India Meteorological Department issues yellow alert of rain for the next 5 days in Uttarakhand. Government publishes the Battery Waste Management Rules 2022 to ensure environmentally sound management of waste batteries. In Durand Cup, the matches between East Bengal versus Rajasthan United and Army Green versus Sudeva Delhi end in a draw. And in badminton, HS Pranoy defeats Lakshya Sen to enter the quarterfinals of the BWF World Championships 2022 in Tokyo. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
मुट्ठी भर अंग्रेज और हमारे विशाल देश पर राज करने का स्वप्न देख रहे हैं, पर हम इनके स्वप्न को चकनाचूर कर देंगे।
निकल पड़े स्वाधीनता के पथ भाले, स्वतंत्रता संग्राम की सुनी अनसुनी कहानियों के साथ स्वराज हर रविवार रात 9 बजे डीडी नेशनल पर।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
Welcome back to the evening news on All India Radio. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Gujarat on the 27th and 28th of August. He will address Khadi Utsav at Sabarmati Riverfront in Ahmedabad on the evening of the 27th and inaugurate Smriti Van Memorial in Bhuj the next morning. After this, he will lay the foundation stone and inaugurate various developmental projects in Bhuj. The Prime Minister will address a program in Gandhinagar in the evening, marking the commemoration of 40 years of Suzuki in India. It has been a constant endeavour of the Prime Minister to popularize Khadi, generate awareness about Khadi products and promote the use of Khadi amongst youth. The country's first indigenously built aircraft carrier Vikrant is to be commissioned on the 2nd of September. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be the chief guest at the commissioning of the indigenous aircraft carrier Vikrant in Kochi.
Over the past 75 years since independence, India's largest public service broadcaster, All India Radio, has been the proverbial storyteller for 1.3 billion citizens across the country. All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with a series, Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashwani ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio.
Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashwani ke Saath. Reliving the journey of India since independence over the last 75 years with All India Radio. From 15th August, the series is being broadcast on All India Radio, 100.1 FM Gold Channel, primetime news bulletins and across all its platforms. Tune in to stay updated with All India Radio.
In today's episode, we bring you the story of the Prime Ministers of India who served the nation from the 19th of March 1998 onwards.
In today's episode, we bring you the story of the Prime Ministers of India who served the nation from the 19th of March 1998 onwards. Atal Bihari Vajpayee became the Prime Minister on the 16th of May 1996 and held the post till the 1st of June 1996. He was again elected as the Prime Minister on the 19th of March 1998 and served till May 22nd, 2004.
मैं अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं संघ के प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धा पूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा।
Dr. Manmohan Singh was elected as the Prime Minister on the 22nd of May 2004 and served till the 26th of May 2014 for 2 terms.
I, Manmohan Singh, do swear in the name of God and by God established that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India. In case I reveal to any or person and of my duty as Prime Minister.
Narendra Modi, the first ever Prime Minister to be born after independence, took oath on the 26th of May 2014 and served till May 2019.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा।
Mr. Modi was sworn in again as the Prime Minister on the 30th of May 2019 and continues to serve till date.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं संघ के प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा।
President Draupadi Murmu will confer the National Awards to Teachers 2022 to 46 selected awardees on the 5th of September in New Delhi. The Department of School Education and Literacy of Ministry of Education has been organizing a national-level function on Teachers' Day every year to confer the national awards to the best teachers of the country. The selection is done through a rigorous, transparent and online three-stage selection process.
The 31st Vyas Salman was conferred on the well-known Hindi writer Dr. Asghar Wajahat at a function in New Delhi today. Dr. Wajahat has been chosen for the prestigious award for his play Mahabali. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the Indian Army has today foiled an infiltration attempt by Pakistani terrorists in forward areas of Uri sector in North Kashmir's Baramulla district by killing 3 terrorists and recovered large cache of warlike stores. The spokesperson said the contact with terrorists was established at about 8:45 a.m. today in the forward areas of Indian side of the LOC, leading to heavy exchange of fire in which the terrorists were killed and the detailed search of the area concluded today afternoon. The search of the area yielded bodies of 3 terrorists, 2 AK rifles, 1 Chinese F-16 rifle along with other warlike stores.
India's COVID vaccination coverage has crossed 211 crore landmark. More than 25 lakh vaccine doses were administered today. Union Health Minister said the cumulative first dose of COVID vaccine have been administered to over 102 crore 24 lakh and the second dose have been administered to more than 94 crore 11 lakh. In football, the match between East Bengal and Rajasthan United in Durand Cup ended in a draw at Kishore Bharati Stadium in Kolkata. No team could score any goal. Another match between Army Green and Sudeva Delhi at Indira Gandhi Athletic Stadium in Guwahati also ended in a goalless draw. In badminton, HS Pranoy defeated Lakshya Sen by 21-17, 21-16, 21-17 to enter the quarterfinals of the BWF World Championships 2022 in Tokyo today. The pair of Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty defeated the pair of Jappe Bey and Lasse Molhede of Denmark in their pre-quarter-final match. The Indian duo will now face Takuro Hoki and Yugo Kobayashi of Japan.
The IMD has issued a yellow alert of rain for the next 5 days in Uttarakhand. There is a possibility of heavy rain in the mountainous region of the state today and tomorrow. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government has taken initiative to abolish laws from period of slavery that reflect slavery mentality, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Addresses National Conference of Labour Ministers of all states and union territories via video conferencing. Prime Minister interacts with participants of Grand Finale of Smart India Hackathon this evening. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs approves proposal for amendment of policy of exemption for wheat flour from export ban. Supreme Court quashes order of Jharkhand High Court in matter of appointment of 326 candidates selected in 6th State Civil Service examination conducted by the State Public Service Commission. Prime Minister to visit Gujarat on 27th and 28th of August to lay foundation stone and inaugurate various developmental projects in Bhuj. Home Minister Amit Shah asks security forces to continue with the coordinated efforts through meticulous and well-planned counter-terrorism operations to wipe out terrorism. President Draupadi Murmu to confer national awards to teachers on 5th of September in New Delhi. India Meteorological Department issues yellow alert of rain for next 5 days in Uttarakhand. Government publishes the Battery Waste Management Rules 2022 to ensure environmentally sound management of waste batteries. In Durand Cup, the matches between East Bengal versus Rajasthan United and Army Green versus Sudeva Delhi end in a draw, and in badminton, HS Pranoy defeats Lakshya Sen to enter quarterfinals of BWF World Championships 2022 in Tokyo. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.